As humans, we're always on these days. Our nervous systems are pretty much firing on all cylinders. You know that feeling when you go for a walk and you don't have your headset and to listen to the next course or the next podcast or the music. You're at the gym and you'll realize that you're not wearing your watch and there's a sense of complete and real panic that the walk isn't productive because you're not listening to something, because you're not learning something new. The workout won't count because the thing that you're tracking, your steps and your calories, is sitting at home on your bedside table. Our hobbies, even our meditations, our ice baths have become things that we perform and optimize to get the most out of ourselves and it. They've turned into basically measurements and data. Measurements demonstrate how well we're doing, how we've optimized our life, how successful, how rich, how fit we are in life. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how this space, the high performance and optimization space, is preventing you from getting exactly the outcome that you actually want. Why high performance and optimization is actually making you more and more exhausted. It's actually the opposite of what you're trying to do. Because somewhere along the way, it stopped being about health or happiness. It stopped being about how you feel and became about your statistics on a page or your device. Every part of your life entrenched in some kind of data or numbers to prove something. Sometimes even your relationship was a spreadsheet of data to analyze. The success now is only about the data, not the meaning you were chasing. It's the data around it. And then we share those stats with the world as if, it's an achievement, not the outcome. People in the wellness space are posting, how long they held a cold shower for or an ice bath. Like, who fucking really cares? And here's the real irony of it all. The exact thing that you're doing to fix your issue is now the thing that's causing it. The stress of missing a day, a macro, a dollar, a workout, some kind of stat. And the world of high performance is driving more anxiety, more stress, and more exhaustion. It's the antithesis of what it is supposed to be and do. Now in life, we're maxing, we're glow-upping. I've never heard that word before. Fucking glow-upping. What the fuck is that? Apexing our psychology. Like, none of this stuff's new. It's just a new brand name to sell more, shit to you, right? I've spent 3 decades around high performers, 25 plus years in the corporate, arena and transformations. And, last decade, really going deep into human behavior and psychology. And I've always wondered, how do we get here? And I understood, we need to understand how humans work. And that's how we get there. And there's a term that I use frequently with a lot of my clients. And that term is status inversion. Humans will do things, change behavior when we see it and feel it as an increase in status and identity. High performance and optimization, because they're marketed that way, is widely accepted as a status increase. So people will take on those tools, those systems, those courses, those frameworks, even when they don't work, because if you remember literally one line from this video, just remember this one. People respond to, what does this say about me as a person? Hence back to the status increase. You do a course, do an MBA, your peers see you as a certain way. That's a status increase. But you do therapy or you do some other deeper work externally that reads as a status decrease. Even if that thing works like magic, people will dismiss it. They'll find a fault with it. They'll find an excuse because our identities don't like it. So they take the optimization route because in their own eyes, that's the accepted and approved route in amongst your peers. So, but look at these spaces, right? People follow them like religions. The habit systems, the ice bars, the peptides, the breath work, a method that was there to help us become better is now more about performance. And we're all performing wellness. For who, right? Performing health, performing spirituality, performing vulnerability, all for a fucking camera. Even in the corporate world, the CEOs, now they're performing openness sessions now. Like, what the fuck? I've worked with some of these people and some of these high performers, all over the world, right? Some of them are so emotionally void of shit, right? And they're having openness sessions. Like some of these are, from a corporate space. Some are founders, some are surgeons running, emergency wards in major hospitals, right? And they all come exhausted, tired, somewhat lost, and hoping that this high performance and optimization was meant to fix it, and it's not. Because they're too tied into what we call the sunken cost to back it out. They're too invested, and it looks bad if they back out now. And trying to leave some of these places, it's like leaving a cult, right? So here's the question that comes next. Surely the methods and programs promising to solve this can see it. Well, for someone who's gone down this path, calling it out means admitting that you are actually wrong. And when your identity, your business, let's say your livelihood are all tied up in that space, especially your income, that's extremely hard to do. So people tend to double down. They go higher. They find newer ways to perform and optimize. Now it's a 3:30 a.m. start with a journal and a juice. Right? Our identities don't like being threatened. So instead of admitting that we were wrong, we tend to lock it in a little bit tighter. But there's something a lot darker, a lot deeper that's actually part of this. And it's quite sad, right? And when I mean dark, I mean really dark. The next time someone talks to you about their life and the reason why they went down the optimization or high performance path or space with a whole lot of metrics and data, just listen to what someone says to you in this space. They could say things like, I'm burnt out, I'm exhausted, I've got nothing left in the tank. So I went down this high performance and optimization, or even, let's say, flow state space, because this is what people like me do. Remember, it's about people like us do this. Now, do not dismiss the metaphor, because the metaphors are actually saying something to you, like I said, which is really, really dark. Watch how they talk about the system that they are in. You'll see that they are talking to, let's say, themselves like a machine. Like it's something that it can be metriced better. Like with something that we can be measured. We are treating ourselves like we are a machine. That a watch has more intelligence than 1 trillion sensors in our body. We're treating ourselves like a device, not as a human. We're outsourcing our wellness and health to things that treat us like data and a machine. And we are starting to take away the ability to be human. The sad thing is that the people, in this space then start to exhibit behaviors that lack empathy, lack compassion. They start not to feel, cry, be angry, be sad, or grieve, because this world of high performance and the world of optimization is turning you into a data-driven machine. Everything's around statistics, data, metrics. And that's the really dark part, is if you're willing to go there, your life is becoming less human and more data-driven and more machine-like. And when you start seeing this, you actually see, and it's really scary because this is being planted in you under the guise of wellness. And then the endless comparison, other people who are doing more optimization and more data stuff, the constant messaging about what success looks like in that optimization space. Like the more you measure, the more successful you are. You know, the constant persistent messaging right now that you're not enough and you need to do more of this stuff. That somehow, somewhere in the future, is a version of you who did all of this and is finally happy. And the marketing world got you hooked without you even knowing. Not through facts and figures, not through logic. They hijacked a part of your brain that responds to this. And you were completely unaware of it. These teams know exactly how the human brain works. And I've always said this, and I always will, right? If you want to learn human psychology, don't read a psychology book. You read a marketing book. And if you read a marketing book and once you read it, you'll absolutely see the pattern. Because it's the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. It never ends, it never stops. That's the thing about the optimization and the high performance space. It never does stop. It's the game. It's an infinite game. One you'll never get to the end of it because it's designed to not be done that way. Now, don't get me wrong here. Okay. I'm not saying don't have goals or aspirations or things to hit, right? If you've got, a business to run or, weight to lose or relationship to build and all that kind of stuff, I'm not saying that. I'm saying something quite deep, and much deeper. I'm talking about agency and alignment. When someone works from alignment and agency, there's no performance. It's an extension of who you are. There's no need to optimize. It's just comes from you, and you don't have to do anything with that space. It just takes care of itself. The other world, the optimization and high performance, creates stress and intellectualizes a process, and it gets you nowhere in the end because you keep doing more data and data and data. So if you're in a space right now, here's something you can do right now, just for the next week. Go for a walk without any devices. Like, just go for a walk, even your phone. And yeah, you will cope, right? Because people have been doing this for centuries, for so long. We've been going for walks with that stuff for forever, right? But then don't post that you did. Feel everything. Feel the sun, feel the cold, feel the air, feel the grass. Give yourself permission to feel again and not track the lights out of it.